Hey everyone, and welcome to Schneid's 15. I'm Josh, and today we're going to be talking about storage buildings. I'm sure you're watching this video because you're wanting to buy a storage building, and you're probably like me where you research everything and you're trying to figure out, do you go with the arch rib? Do you go with a round one? Do you get a double truss? What do you do? There's different fabrics. There's the base PE fabric, which I've purchased. There's PVC fabric. The price goes up significantly on all that stuff. So what do you buy? And how hard are they to put together? Are they durable? Are they junk? You can't find any information on them online, and everybody's opinion is different. So why don't you guys learn firsthand from me and my experience? I'll tell you a little bit about what I thought when buying them and why I went with this. And let's get to putting this thing up, and we'll show you how hard or not hard it's going to be. From my experience, I've done a lot of research. This one is a premium storage building, which comes from Uncle Weiners Wholesale in Western Canada. There is some that are by Suey Industrial or something like that. Other ones are Sherry Industrial, TMG. Some say Gold Mountain on them, some say Gold Mount. What I've come down to, they all come out of the same factory, I'm pretty sure. A good friend of mine has a round one. Uncle Weiners offered the arch rib. He always wanted an arch rib, and mine looked the exact same design as his. He had 3 feet of snow on his single truss building, and it did not collapse this winter. 3 feet of wet snow. So that's durable for me in the prairies because we don't get a lot of snow, and it's dry snow and it blows off. So that's just fine for my needs. If you're in a different climate, you might want to consider something heavier, but at the same time, 3 feet of snow of wet snow is a lot of weight, and if it didn't collapse, it's probably good for you too. So mine's a 20 by 42. This is everything laid out of the big green box, and it's really easy. If you're intimidated by putting this together, don't be. You literally have one piece right here, then you have a second piece here, and a third, and then you put your feet on. It's very, very straightforward. I do have a few more of the parts in my trailer. It comes with some rope, some spikes to put in the ground, which I'm going to fasten differently. Comes with some nylon posts for inside the cover obviously, and it comes with some other bars. And it also came with these patches. The instructions want you to put all these on the ground, perfectly spaced, and then assemble your trusses on that. I'm not sure how much of a fan I am of that because I don't know exactly where I want to put this building yet. So we're just gonna flip them up, start assembling it, level it, and square it after. I've gone ahead and assembled my last one. All the bolts are the same. You just put your 2 base plates on the end, throw all your bolts in, go on to the next one. The only difference is your middle ones all have these base plates, and the end 2 on each end are like this. So don't screw that up. Everything else is the same screws. You can't screw it up. With all the bolts in, we've tightened them all. We've just got all these snug. I tightened our collar ties right here, and now I've tipped these up against the fence, thrown in our number 4 crossers here to square it up, and we're just going to keep going like this and keep building. We kept going and stood the rest of the trusses up. I got all my crossers in except the top. I was a bolt or 2 short. It was dark when I was putting them up, so I'm going to look for them, and then we're going to shimmy the building over here just to get it away from my fence so I have somewhere to clear out the snow and mow around, and then we're off to finishing it off and getting it squared up and getting our anchors in. We got Frank the tank here supervising. Yet again, the rain is coming in, but we got the cross braces in. I'm just working on them on this end. I was a few bolts short, so I just went to the hardware store and grabbed some. With everything assembled now, we got to square up the frame. I've converted the measurements, and from the metric over to us North American measurements here, we are dead on 20 feet center to center. So I've measured 20 feet across here to here, and put in the stakes temporarily just to hold it, because this will want to bow out farther than you want it to. It'll be about 2 feet out, where it wants to naturally go, and you got to push it in. So anyways, we got our 20 feet measured here. Then we got 42 feet long, and we're just gonna square it up with the fence here to get a nice row, and then do our other side. Everything's in a straight row. Our line here though is getting a lot better. It's still a little bit crooked in here, and that's because it lowers down right here in my property. So I'm just gonna go get some railway ties, jack it up a little bit, and that'll level us out. And after a lot of digging and leveling, I've got my railway ties in here, and we've got it leveled and straight all the way across here. And across here, we just had a high spot here. We found it easiest to just string line across our metal bar there. As you can see, it's very, very straight. It's not 100% perfect, but we just had to dig a couple of these down, and it lined everything up really nice. I just want to say that I screwed up and put the wrong screws in here. These are big ones. They don't specify which ones to use. When I pulled these clamps out of the bag, they came with these smaller ones that are longer that go through here, so I used them. Anyways, we just pulled them out, put these ones in here, and put the heavier ones in here. And on these bottom braces, I left this up so the strap won't interfere with my cover when it comes down. And we got all of our end braces tightened up now that we're level and square. And I went around and snugged up every single bolt, and it's a very, very sturdy structure. So now we got to go around and take tape and put it on all these joints so the cover doesn't rub on here and chafe on there. So we'll go around and tape them, it comes with it, and then we're pretty well ready to start putting our cover on. Besides our ground anchors that are right here, I'm going to put one of these in every single corner, one in the middle, and I only got 5. I got to go get another one, and then we'll anchor it straight to the ground with a turnbuckle. I have got my ground anchors installed. I put one there, one in the corner, one in the middle. I see now that a lot of guys will put them in the middle and strap up to here. So my plan is I'll go from that one to here and here, and then have each end done. It'll be very solid. Anyhow, the wind was very calm last night, so I got these up. And what I did is I just used zip ties, the nylon plastic pieces that shove into there. I started them at the top and just kept working my way down, and I cut the bottom off. I did the same thing on the end wall here. I'm gonna take the rope and go around it now, but it sits level with the outside surface. We were trying to figure out if it was on the inside, the outside, or what. Anyways, that's how it goes. With our end walls all done, I haven't tensioned them up yet. I'm gonna wait, but I've went around and I've taped everything. I've done double or single on all this stuff and double on these because they were a little bit abrupt. But I actually went around and hit every single joint, and I literally was just about out of tape. So I would recommend doing that on all your little bolt holes, because why not? I've laid out the tarp here. I gotta pull it this way yet. I've got the bar in the first side, right in there all the way through. You shove 8 of the big ones through, and then you have a double male here, or female, and you slide that onto it. I slid the male or the female end in first. Now we're gonna do the other side. It says to lay it out on a ground sheet, but that ain't happening. I don't got a 42-foot tarp. So we're just about ready to center it up and give it a pull over. Okay, as you can see, we got the cover on. It's fastened down because the wind was just so picking up, and by unraveling it the way we did, we only got one layer dirty, so I'll just hose that off. But otherwise they're all down. We measured, it's 10 inches from the edge of here to the edge of the green, bang on. And now we gotta run our rope through here, back and forth all the way around, get that done, tension that, and then we can tension our outside flap here, get it tensioned down, and then we can tension the straps on the inside here, because then it won't want to pull. It's locked on around the edge then. The rope is all tight all the way around. Doesn't look the nicest, but it's in there. Anyways, went ahead and tightened all of our ratchet straps down tight, got them pretty even on both sides, and we're just got got our, as you can see, that shadow there, you pull down the band on the outside, and we just tied that into our plates for now because there's no real set way to do it. I might take the strap and just put a ratchet on it or get some ratchet ends to tighten it up better. I have to fix this. Make sure you put your bars through here. I have to fix that yet on here. I'll pull them back out. But for now, that's it. Well, everyone, thanks for watching. That's how to put up a 20 by 42 fabric building. The 20 by 30, everything, like I said, they're pretty well all the same. Even if they're round, they're very, very close installation process. But since there was no other videos of people actually doing an install, there was little bits and pieces of stuff, but nobody that actually did a thorough video. I hope this helped you. And it is August of 2025. We'll make some follow-up videos because I know there's going to be people asking. Let me be your guinea pig and we'll look at this and see what the longevity is like. Like I said, I've ratchet strapped it down. It says every month to give it more, and as it gets hot, the wrinkles are coming out of it, and they say, you know, whenever you're in, just check them and just keep adding tension to it, and it'll keep, you know, pulling that fabric tighter slowly as it ages and stretches a little bit. So yeah, this is it. I'm pretty happy with it. We're gonna try and get this dried out in here, maybe put a little bit of gravel down, and we'll have a nice spot to work and store stuff. So anyways, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Please comment if you want to learn more about these buildings, where I got it and everything. We'll talk about it, but as far as I'm concerned, they all come out of the same factory. Doesn't matter what brand you got. Some of them just have a little bit of better stuff on them, different options, and I might even come up with a little design for the end doors to hold them straight, especially this one on the far end that I'm not using. I'm gonna frame up something in there and come up with a design to hold it tight. So thanks for watching. See you soon.